Lucy and this is Dexter, who's really intrigued with the piece of paper that I've got and the tripod that's set up on his stable door at the moment. We are DESTOOR on Instagram and we're from Staffordshire in the UK. So I'm doing the interview for The Masked Husband about getting men into riding and my thoughts. So I've already answered the first question. The second one is, what do I practice, what level and type of horse do I ride? So at the moment I'm not competing. So I brought Dexter in July last year with the hopes of doing some low level dressage and some ROR showing because he's an ex-racehorse as well, quite a good one. However, 3 months in he got diagnosed with kissing spine and PSD, so we've been focusing on kissing spine rehab. So he actually had both operations and I've learnt so much now when we are riding away, and we're hoping to do some low level dressage next year, COVID allowing. So number 3, do I think partners of equestrians should be more supportive and why? So luckily mine is actually quite supportive, but he does kind of moan about how much I pay for him and keep buying him things. Can't help it. Black Friday sales. Weakness. He doesn't really come up all of the time, but I don't really expect him to because it's not his hobby. Like he goes like mountain biking and the gym, and I couldn't think of anything worse than going there with him. So Dexter. But in general, he's quite supportive, and I think there's a lot of partners around this area who are supportive, but they don't really ride. If that makes sense. He's raiding my pockets now. Sorry. Number 4. So I've got 30 seconds to convince my partner to join the equestrian world. What would I say? Oh, I don't really know, because sometimes I wonder why I do it, especially in the weather that we get in England. If I was going to be cliche, I'd say women, jumpers, whips, leather, the usual, but I'm sure that's already been said. But joking aside, if I was talking to my partner, I think what I would say to him is at the higher levels it's quite competitive and there's a lot more men. And it's a sport that you're constantly learning in, which I think would really appeal to him. He's like that anyway with everything he does. He has said to me when I was like kind of thinking of my answers for this, that he thinks that women at the lower levels worry a lot about the sport and have lost kind of touch with why we're doing it and what we find fun, which I kind of agree with because I'm constantly worrying about this guy. I don't know whether that's just me in general. Number 5. So the masked husband has never been interested in his wife's equestrian world. Do I think he can learn to love it? I think that depends on how long and what part of the equestrian world your wife has been into, because it might not be for you. So if you've not really tried to see what else is out there, if you're not really interested in what she does, then definitely go out there and find out, because you might find that just hacking is right for you, in which case go to a fun ride. It's amazing. You might find that you just want to look after them, in which case the yard makes the big difference. Like, I think it all depends on what you've been exposed to. So my partner, for example, I've been showing since I was a young girl. So I've got a lot of friends, so when I go to a show I see it as a big catch up as well. And that's how he's kind of got involved in my friends. It helps that one of my friends is an equestrian photographer as well, which that's what he did. Not for equestrian but photography, so they've got that love, but he gets involved whenever I do go out. So number 6, there are more women in this sport than men. Why do I think that is? So at the lower levels I would agree. I'm just going to move him away. At the lower levels, yeah, I would agree. I'm going to say it's your stereotypical girls, young girls get brought up with My Little Pony and things like that, and that's kind of where mine came from. Also, my mum was involved, so it wasn't really a dad thing. However, at the higher levels, I do think that there's more men than there are women. But I only actually know of 4 men that actually ride. So one is my trainer, which is where we're based. And he does it because he absolutely loves his job and loves horses, and this yard is all about the welfare of the horse, which I love. The other one got involved because of his wife. The other one is the groom here, and then the only other one I know is Man on Horse on Instagram, and he got involved because he wanted to share a hobby with his daughter, which I think was really sweet, and he's absolutely cracking. I think he's brilliant. So number 7, what do I think that you should do first to get a positive view of the horse world? Don't let people dictate to you what they think that you should be doing with your own horse. It winds me up no end. A lot of people in the horse world like to be Karens. Karens, is that the word on Facebook now? But one thing I would say is you do you. You'll get to know what you like, what you don't like, who to listen to, and listen to yourself and your horse. And it's taken me 20 years to learn that now, and I don't really care what other people think. I just do what is right for me and him, and I've ended up being really, really happy where I am now. Number 8, one thing I would change about the equestrian world, what would it be? I've always said this, I think we've lost touch with how fun a show should be, especially at the lower levels. So I remember growing up and there used to be a gymkhana at the end of every show jumping class, and I just wish they would bring that back, because it seems the lower level shows now are more concerned about qualifiers than they are about kids having fun. So that would be one thing that I would change. And I also think we don't support each other enough, which is completely bizarre considering that we all share this hobby, and we should all support each other and give each other kind of tips and cheer each other on, but it seems to have been lost. So yeah, they're my 8 questions for the masked husband. I hope that was insightful, and I'm sorry that this guy kept interrupting.